Nebraska Congressman Donald Bacon is live in our nation's capital this morning. Congressman, welcome to the show. I know it's your first time. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Let's start with Ukraine. I'm excited to talk to you because you sit on the Armed Services Committee. Ukraine struggling to beat back the Russian offensive. They haven't been in the headlines as much because of the Israel-Gaza war. How likely is it that the package will pass? And what happens, what's at risk if it doesn't move forward?
I give it about a 90% chance, maybe 95% chance it's going to pass today. The real hurdles was the rules votes and getting it out of the Rules Committee. And it took a bipartisan vote to do that. And, you know, there's a time and place to put your faith first or Americans first before a party. And what we saw yesterday, people were voting as Americans and they weren't putting their party first. And that's the way it should be. We should do that more often. Now, if we don't get this aid passed, Ukraine will likely fall. You know, the Russians they got huge munitions factories. They're being armed by North Korea, Iran, and China. It stands to reason that Ukraine needs help against all of this support that Russia's getting. They need our support to help counter that. We have the best weapons in the world, and we can help provide them. And they're doing the fighting. We're not. A lot of the folks that are opposed to any of this aid keep pretending like we are in this war. We got troops there. We do not. But the Ukrainians are being invaded. They want to defend themselves. They want to defeat this invader, and they need our weapons to do so. So if Ukraine falls, you will likely see Moldova immediately collapse and become part of Russia again. The Russians are threatening almost every day Latvia and Estonia, two of the three Baltic countries, calling them fake states, renegade states. I just think we got to stop the bullying now because it's going to get worse if we don't stand up to it.
With regards to Israel, sir, President Biden told Prime Minister Netanyahu the U.S. would not support a counterstrike against Iran. Israel seems to have done it anyway, struck back anyway. How do you see that playing out in the conflict, and how should the U.S. respond if Israel keeps ignoring our president and keeps going it alone?
The bigger problem is Iran is ignoring us.
Yeah.
Israel is defending itself. Iran attacked Israel with 330 munitions, right? Those 110 ballistic missiles. The rest were cruise missiles and drones. Israel has to fight back on that. To not fight back, it's a sign of weakness, and you're inviting even more escalation, in my view. There's risk if you counterstrike or don't. I think there's a bigger risk if you don't, because it signals weakness, and that would be bad. Iran will take advantage of weakness and do it, and they see weakness in Joe Biden. You know, we've been attacked hundreds of times, our installations in the Middle East since 7 October, and all he has done is gone after the Iranian proxy forces. Iran doesn't care if you go after the proxy forces. They care, though, if you go after them. We could shut off their oil. We could sink their navy. There's a lot of things we could do, and Iran would shut up and crawl back in their hole and stop attacking everybody else.
Sir, I don't mean to move from topic to topic, but we have so much to talk to you about. Congressman Paul Gosar has joined Representatives Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey's call to once again oust the Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson, this time over the proposed aid to Ukraine that you and I were just talking about. Let's hear from Freedom Caucus member Chip Roy talking about Johnson's strategy, and I'll talk to you the other side, sir.
For 5 months, we've done nothing but advance things with more Democrat votes than Republican votes. So, you know, I think that's where we are at the moment. Hopefully, you know, we can figure out how to regroup. But I keep saying that after each capitulation, I keep having to come back and say, hopefully we'll regroup.
All right. How do you feel about his framing of the voting process, Congressman?
Well, I see it as more of the anarchy caucus to me, or the dysfunctional caucus, because if they participated with the Republican majority, they would get a more conservative bills passed. But when they don't participate and try to block everything, if, like, for example, when they oppose rules votes, then it has to go into a suspension of the rules, and it requires 290 votes versus 218. And by definition, you have to have more Democrat support to do that. I just think that they're laying the seeds of their own defeat by their behavior. We should be behind the Speaker. The Speaker is trying his very best. Most of the Republicans see Ukraine and Israel in our national security interest. They disagree on the Freedom Caucus there. Fair enough. They can vote no. I'm going to vote yes. The problem is it's not good enough for them to vote no. They want to take down the whole House because they're so angry about it. So I disagree with the strategy. It weakens the Republican Party. It weakens Congress. It weakens America.
What kind of a compromise do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene could bring to the table? We know she doesn't compromise well, but do you think there's something we can do here?
Probably not with Ukraine. I mean, fact is, she said Russia was fighting for Christianity. Shows you where her brain's at on this, and I totally disagree with her on that. You know, by the way, I'm very involved with the evangelical church, The Russians are persecuting evangelical Protestants in Russia. They're not the friends of Christianity.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.